Well, hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. Thank you for being here. And before we get started, if you'd like to skip the recap, go to the following time. Now last time we began by running out north and veering right from the Rampart Tower Grace, dropping onto the rooftops. We climbed up the towers and picked up some Exile Greaves and the Claw Talisman. Then after realizing there was no stone key to be found up there, we dropped down a bit and fought a windy soldier and a windy knight simultaneously, died, then came back and killed them, and picked up the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 10, cause we're all immortal and shit, you know? But they'll be back, cause they're also all immortal and shit, you know? We're locked in eternal combat, like Jack and Barbossa. After that, we dropped down to the courtyard and introduced ourselves to the citizens, then looted all their corpses, which gave us a lot. We're the good guys. But as far as new stuff is concerned, it just meant magic grease and a pike. Then we went inside a little stilted wooden shack by the ramparts and grabbed the wooden great shield. That action was followed up by being killed by an omen who also made a victim of his own dog to get at us. What a shitty person. And then we continued westward into the building leftwise on the map to pick up the Prophecy painting, if that's even its real name. Next we went a tad north inside the larger side room just outside of the boss fog via the back elevator. There we encountered a sneaky beetle and murderous pots, which we murdered, and from the corpses of our foes we picked up the Ash of War Stormcaller, a meat dumpling, and a living jar shard. We concluded the day's ventures by talking way too much about ourselves and our troubles, cutting 90% of it out, and then popping a squat at the lift side chamber grace. And now here we are, the very same. I mean, popping a squat or swinging your scythe at nothing at all. No real difference. But you may be wondering why the raw meat dumpling didn't have a picture/icon on the map and only text. And if you're not, well, let me tell you. At first, I just forgot to get a pic of the item. However, typically when that happens, I just load my save again and bring it up and take a picture. But I used the Seamless Co-op mod, and the most recent update to the game itself broke the mod. My save cannot be loaded without said mod, so I can't take a picture of Death's items. Now obviously this also means I just plain can't play that character, at least until the modder fixes their shit. But in all seriousness, thanks to Lukiwi for the mod so far. I don't know what their situation is, but they said they haven't been able to do anything since August. Hopefully they can get back at it again, and I hope all is well. But thankfully, this was the one time I did actually split one recording into two videos, and I still have my old save of death on the regular version of the game. So I just need to catch it up a bit over the next week or two, and I'll be ready to make videos again. And because I split into two videos, I have this video, so I don't have to skip a week. More weeks than I would have had to skip at least. Because it might still be 2 weeks because there's a lot of catching up to do. But to this episode, as you can see, we are back in the area we were in when we got our first death spell. And we are on the lookout for Stonesword Keys since we didn't find one last episode. Poison bloom, poison bloom. You had me standing alone. Who knows why I felt the need to sing about that, but at some point in here we're probably going to run into what was a boss the first time we met it, but will now no longer have a health bar, just like the Grafted Scion in the last episode. And here we go. Jumping always works. This is a foolproof plan, just trust me. The jump attacks will get it done. Okay, maybe a few of the ground attacks. We'll try a few of them. But I think mostly the approach should be jump attacks. Hey, that's really bright and painful. Oh. Yeah. Yep. Alright, let's get the party started right this time. We kept some more crimson flasks, and we're buffing. Alright, let's go. Stonesword Key, worth it. Yeah, damn, I missed the stagger. We are doing a lot better than we were the last time, though. Still have 6 of my flasks. And I think his health is about the same spot it was when we died last time. A golden seed. Okay, so there was a good reason to kill him. Okay. We pick up some throwing daggers, and now it is time to see what lies beyond him in the next room. A dead squid face thing. And a person. Prince of Death's Pustule. Raises vitality. A fetid pustule taken from facial flesh. Vitality governs resistant to the effects of death. It is said that this pustule came from the visage of the Prince of Death, he who used to be called Godwin. As first dead of the demigods, it's said he's buried deep under the capital at the Erd Tree's roots. HP is 720 now. If we equip that, that's 680. Oh, and then our death resistance went up. I feel like we had to equip it because we're death. I'm sure you're wondering what's meant by resistance to death, especially since that status bar buffed up. You're probably going like, wait a tick, I thought death was just what you had when you run out of health. What's with the status bar? I'm confused. And if you're not, let me explain. There's a status effect in the game called Death Blight. If you completely fill the bar and you become afflicted, thorny plants burst out of you in every direction, simultaneously lifting you off the ground, turning you into a tree, and killing you. This talisman makes you better at avoiding such a fate. It's a good thing. It's so stiff. There's no give whatsoever. Oh, hey, this... Oh... Well, that's just nice. Thank you so much, game. Wow. You clumsy oafs. And we obtain an iron wet blade. I don't remember what the iron one's for. But over here we have a hawk crest wooden shield. And the Misericorde. A tall, medium-sized wooden shield, light for its size and easy to handle, adorned with a long, forgotten crest of Stormveil, ancient in design. The Misericorde is a dagger favored by military physicians in white. The pointed blade is hard and sharp, making critical hits especially potent. Medicine is mercy, and mercy upon the battlefield is ruthless. Beware the killers clothed as men of compassion. And then, what was the other thing? The Iron Whet Blade grants choice of affinity upgrade to weapon. The Iron Whet Blade with a cipher engraved can be used as a whetstone knife. When applying an affinity using Ashes of War, an additional affinity of heavy, keen, or quality can be chosen. Nice. So there's other wet blades in the game. There's like a blue one, and a green one, and a black one. And they grant other affinities. Like you can put, Death Blight on your weapon with the black one, I think. Exalted Flesh. Yesh. What are you doing, buddy? He like turned around at the bottom of the steps. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go back. Whoa! Does not open from this side. Oh, it doesn't, does it? And it's another windy night. You know, something I don't hear a lot of people mention? I don't like the way hitboxes for damage in this game linger. So, like, I actually dodged the initial damage from that attack, but then the wind whirling around is what killed me. We're gonna go a different direction when we enter this time, but not down the elevator shaft. We're gonna go a different direction. Ooh, the Crimson Hood. A hooded cloak of vivid crimson worn by expatriated royalty. Expatriate. Settle oneself abroad. Candidates should be willing to expatriate. Origin mid-18th century as a verb from medieval Latin expatriate, gone out from one's country. From the verb expatriare, from ex, out, plus patria, native country. I didn't know what expatriate meant. Now I do. Increases vigor. Such cloaks were gifted to those who departed on journeys without specific orders, to faraway lands from which they would never return. In other words, the gift of a cloak made it easier for undesirables to be on their way. Roderica never once saw the guidance of grace. Oh, that's sad. So Roderica was given that cloak because the people of her homeland wanted her to go away? That's fucked up. But I feel like I should be nicer to her now. Like, it makes sense that she's horribly depressed. She's literally given an item that symbolizes everyone not liking her. Okay. I feel like that reach is exaggerated. The Banished Knight's Halberd is now in our grasp. A finely crafted halberd, intricately engraved with an ancient motif, given to knights who, whether by misfortune or misdeed, were forced to abandon their homes. Most of these knights were sent to the fringes, where they were forced to start anew with only despair for company. And it bears charge forth. That's the third item we've gotten in this castle with the charge forth ability on it. And the third item in the playthrough, I believe. They've all been from this castle. The Mimic's Veil. Ooh, lots of items today. I believe that's a talisman. No, it's a tool, I just remembered. Which means it's kind of a talisman, but it doesn't take up a slot. And it doesn't go away. It's a reusable item. Uses FP to mimic nearby foes. Objects. Whatever. The golden veil of intricate design. When Godric was hounded from Lanedell, the royal capital, this was one of a multitude of treasures he took with him, also known as America's Mischief. Oh, shit. Hold the phone. Now, I like to watch Vadividya videos, and he talked about America being Radagon. Maybe this item is how she did that. Now, I know the description's like it allows us to turn into other objects, not other people, but her being a god and like living for hundreds or thousands of years and being the owner of this item stands to reason she might be able to know how to use it to greater effectiveness, right? So she just puts on the Mimic's Veil and every once in a while turns into other people and causes mischief. America's mischief. And if that's the case, she could have turned into so many other people. Not just Radagon, but like she could be the cause of so many different things. Like if this little theory here is to be believed, she could have been like a freaking Radon or Millennia and pretended to be a piece of shit to the other one. Cause them to fight each other. Of course, there's the obvious question, why the hell would she do that? Those are her kids. But, you know, friggin' it's medieval type times and she's a god. And in both of those scenarios, it was a lot more common for parents to be pieces of shit to their kids. If you read your history books and your religious books and stuff. Crazy, dude. I feel like it makes sense, what with it being called America's Mischief. And whilst I was theory crafting that and standing here doing nothing, I was wondering how you get over there. And also turning off my alarm, because it went off in the middle of the recording. Now I'm getting orange juice. Okay, I return. A second chance to carve your skull. Imagine if that guy talked like that. Suppose if you never played World of Warcraft, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But that's your fault. How... I want but I want the item! How do you get over there? There's this door, but it says it doesn't open from this side. And then there's that doorway, but if you run around that little doorway, right where the tip of the shaft on my scythe is the door that we were just looking at that doesn't open from the other side. And then that's the doorway. So they're like... What? I guess you have to get on the rooftops and then drop down? Let's do that. Does teleporting to a Grace respawn all the enemies? I know resting at one does. I don't know about teleporting. That's stupid. Why'd I do that? God, wouldn't it be great if I didn't have to edit that fucking flawless cut-in? Wouldn't it be awesome if the game actually loaded that fast? Just fades to black and then fades into the game again. No load whatsoever. That'd be amazing. I'm not actually that full of myself, by the way. I know that that cut is not that impressive. Please don't hate me. Unless you want to. I mean, you hate whoever you want. It's your life. No, where was... I was right here. So I need to go that way. And then that way? Yeah. Alright, so I gotta kill this bird a third time. Oh. I hate it when enemies accidentally dodge your attacks. So frustrating. Okay, you can definitely get up there. Look at that. Like, it's so decorative. What? What in the hell? Okay, so... Oh, yeah. How do you... You know what I just thought about is a really weird thing to be in the game? This thing. Lose all runes and return to last site of grace visited. Why? Like, why would you do that? Like, you can return to them via the map for no penalty at all. I guess if you're, like, in a really intense combat situation, and it would somehow be safer to use that item than it would be to kill the people you're fighting, and you don't want to cheese it to keep your runes. Teleport out. Oh, did I figure it out? Oh, look at me using my brain. Oh, yeah. That's the catwalk I wanted to land on. What about this one? What's your deal? Oh, I have to drop down. Is there any reason to? Is there something in this tower? Oh, there is. Oh, a Stonesword Key. Okay, that's the one on the rooftops that I couldn't find. Alright, cool. No, I'm not fighting you a fourth time. Shut up. There we go. I was about to laugh at myself, because I couldn't get out of combat with that thing, and there was nowhere really to go. So I was like, oh my god, did I find the situation that you need this thing for? But I guess if you were actually stuck in a situation like that, you might find it useful. No warning for you guys. Doesn't that suck? It's just too bad, really. Anything this way? No. There would have been, but I already picked it up. No, you leave me alone. Oh, did he come over here? No, he can't. Okay. Stupid bird doesn't know how to fly higher. What a dummy. I'm one to talk. I don't even know how to fly. He probably thinks I'm an idiot. What's this way, though? Oh. Can he notice me through the window and start trying to hit me? Oh. Hello. Goodbye. The gold pickled foul foot. Fantastic. Yeah, that's not the way we want. We want to get to the treasure chest and the purple item. So here we go. And doors open. Exile Gauntlets. Hey, only one more item for the full set. We just need the boots. And that comment just reminded the editor that we actually did pick up the boots in the last episode, and I just didn't realize it. The Exile Greaves are already in our inventory, and I will read them now. Damaged Iron Greaves. Riveting. Damaged Iron Gauntlets. Worn by Knights, Penal Colony, blah blah blah. Worn by soldiers, Penal Colony, blah blah blah. There, I said it correctly. Hello. Pickled turd. Fucking degenerates. Oh, and there's the third Stonesword Key. We have found all Stonesword Keys in Stormveil Castle. Feels good. Now let's go fight this Windy Knight again. You can never get enough practice with him. You calm down, sir. It's quite enough out of you. I'm really proud of myself for how much easier it's gotten to kill those guys. I used to struggle with them super hard. But you know what? I think this is the end of the video. There's 2 more bosses turned regular enemy and 2 actual bosses, as well as a plethora of items, so we'll likely make another episode or 2 in this place. I'm gonna try to make sure the next one drops on Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, or UTC-6 Central US and Canada if you prefer, and I'd like to make that a weekly time for this series going forward. But until Friday, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you aren't still here under the spell of a half-brain dead sick brain, and take care of yourselves. Love you, goodbye!